Today I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't even think about anymore. Airport body scanners. And let me be clear right out of the gate. I'm not here to argue about the science of what the scanners emit. I'm here to talk about bodily autonomy, informed consent, and the right to say no to something that you're not comfortable with. Most US airports use millimeter wave scanners. So the official line is that they emit low energy, non-ionizing electromagnetic waves. Fine. The government tells me that. Of course I'm going to believe them. Because the government never lies.
Most body scanners used in airports around the world emit ionizing radiation, which has been linked to DNA damage, increasing the risk of cancer. There's so much radiation that the people who work next to the body scanners have a higher chance of developing brain cancer, tumors, and all types of issues related to their brains. This is documented and proven.
I know it's really hard to believe, but I'm a person that doesn't want to be exposed to any unnecessary electromagnetic frequencies. I limit what I can at home. I'm mindful of what I put near and around my body. I really don't want to step into a giant machine that pulses wavelengths through me. If there's another option, rub me down.
I mean, I have colleagues who prefer to do the slower manual pat down at the airport to going through the scanner. It's a low level of radiation is what they tell me. But if you're traveling a lot, you're getting multiple low level exposures. And we know pilots, and this is for other reasons, because they're, you can tell us, but atmospherically they're exposed to more radiation. Cancer rates are higher in pilots. Now they're sitting a lot too, prostate cancer. Okay, there's a bunch of things there. But do you yourself avoid the scanner at the airport?
Honestly, I do, but I can't say that there's data for that. I feel the same way as you. Like, if I can avoid it, I try to minimize, but that's not based on some inside knowledge I have, but I have the same bias of less seems better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not out to get the scanner industry. I think it's useful for people to hear that one can have no formal data, but an understanding of mechanism that leads them to hedge.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
So a few years ago, my family and I went to Disney, first and last time. And because I was traveling with my kids, TSA allowed me to opt out of the scanner. But then my son had a water bottle with actual water in it. So they told me that I had to walk 20 feet to the nearest trash can to empty the water. I dumped the water and I walked right back. To which they saw. They observed me. But then suddenly, because I'm now standing there with no children, I was required to go through the scanner. I thought this dude's gonna be busting my balls. But apparently walking 20 feet away to empty a water bottle instantly made me a different classification of a human. So I then proceeded to say, no, I'd like to get another pat down. Then the man said they had no other female staff available. I looked directly at that male staff and I said, that's my husband and kids over there. I am giving you full permission to pat me down. He adamantly refused. I don't necessarily blame him. At this point, I was definitely at risk of missing my flight because I would not step into a machine I wasn't comfortable with. And then the dude hits me with, do you use a microwave at home? Which I'm being completely honest. I thought it was hilarious that he asked me that, but I had to seriously stay in character, so I had to compose myself. And then I told him with full conviction, what I do in my home is none of your business. And my boundaries don't disappear just because I'm in an airport. I totally pulled a Karen. That's what I'd like to tell myself. I probably acted like a 3-year-old having a temper tantrum inside Logan Airport. And that's what today's episode is about. Not arguing with TSA agents, just this truth. You are allowed to refuse a scanner if it makes you uncomfortable. You're allowed to choose the pat down, and you're allowed to advocate for your own body. Consent doesn't stop at the hospital door. It doesn't stop at TSA, and it sure as hell doesn't stop at convenience. Your body is yours.
As a functional medical doctor, I personally would never go through a full body scanner at the airport. Research shows that some scanners still use ionizing radiation, which is the same type linked to DNA breakage, mutations, and higher cancer risk. And while the dose is small and you get more radiation from flying, radiation is cumulative. Frequent flyers, children, and pregnant women are absolutely the most vulnerable. If you can, always opt out and request a manual pat down, like I do. But if you have no choice, there are ways to lower the impact. Loading up on antioxidants like vitamin C, resveratrol, glutathione before and after your flight can help your body repair oxidative stress from cumulative radiation exposure.